wow. We are lucky to have you here.
Thank you. And we dress, I think, in the same closet.
jacket on.
Well, we planned it. We planned it. I think you wear it better. I'm going to be totally honest.
Should I show you my closet?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Hey, anytime.
Anytime, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
The two of you defined women's tennis for nearly 2 decades, not just as champions, but as generational greats, as fierce rivals. At what moment did you two decide that you actually really like each other? Was it love at first sight? That's not a tennis
2000.
pun.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, we liked each other from the beginning. I mean, we liked each other. We always liked each other.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't the problem. In the beginning, you showed us playing doubles, and I was playing doubles with her, and I was practicing with her, and I was eating lunch with her, and we were doing press conferences together, and we were just together all the time. And then she started beating me.
Yeah.
And so
Shame on you.
I broke up the doubles partnership, and everyone's like, God, I go, no. I didn't break up the friendship. I broke up the doubles partnership because I felt like she was knowing my game a little bit too much. And I was getting emotional because I never like to play my friends or people I care about.
Right.
So, I mean...
She dumped me.
How did that make you feel?
Well,
what are you,
it was
therapist?
hard, but
Well, sometimes.
We had no help. We had no, psychologists back then. We had to figure it out by ourselves. So,
Right.
I cried for about 3 months.
Oh, you did not.
I'm kidding.
You did not. Oh, just really rub it in.
Well, we had a good time playing together, and we won. And
Yes.
and then I'm like, oh, who am I gonna play with? So anyhow, it was fun while it lasted.
The documentary is so beautiful. It's a beautiful story of your rivalry that became a deep friendship. And I think so often society pits women against one another when really we're each other's strongest allies. What was that like in those scenes when you were sitting together, rewatching your matches, now watching back with a different perspective?
For me, emotionally, I had to go back to that time, which was in the 70s and 80s, which was a long time ago, obviously. But I really had to remember how I was feeling, what was going on in my life, what my mindset was at the time. When we were playing back then, it was pretty intense. We always had intense matches because we were either number 1 or number 2. And we were always trying to beat each other and get to the top.
Yeah.
But
it's funny because Chris was much more mental. I was physical, right? So even watching the match, Chris is like, oh, what was I feeling? What was I thinking? And I'm like, I should have hit that down the line,
Yeah, you were thinking about the game, the physicalities of the strokes and the shot making, and I was thinking more like, I really should have been a little bit smarter in that point, and I was thinking psychologically what I should have been doing differently in my game.
But this is what's so interesting, the fact that you think so differently and you're different players in those ways, and that's why you played so well together when you played doubles. You kind of complemented one another.
Doubles is good for that.
Yeah.
She did some things better, I did some things better, and together we were a pretty good doubles team. Yeah.
Right.
But I think that's what made the rivalry so interesting. Most of you aren't old enough to have known that rivalry, but...
I see some gray hairs
the
over there.
contrast. There are, actually. But
who are they?
The contrast in style.
Yes.
We're so different. She came from a communist country. I came from the land of freedom, and she was a serve and volleyer. I was a baseliner. She was emotional. I was cool and calm, and we were so different that we brought our own. This is serious. We brought our own set of fans to the plate, and I think it created more eyeballs. Watching our matches, coming to the matches, and watching on TV.
It did. Now, Chris, you came onto the scene and took the world of tennis by storm at 16 years old, which I can't even imagine reaching that level of success so early on in your life. That couldn't have been easy. What would you go back and tell yourself if you could at 16 years old?
Martina touched upon it. When you become famous when you're young and you haven't developed, your character, you haven't developed principles, you haven't developed a personality yet, you're not mature. It doesn't lend itself to really a normal upbringing or a healthy upbringing, because people at 16 were telling me, patting me on the back, telling me how great I was. And everybody's saying what you want to hear. Everyone wants to be your friend, you know, and that's not reality at all. So it took me a long time to figure that out, to not feel that I was special.
Right.
I was just like everybody else, but it makes you feel like you're special.
Right.
Well, you are.
You are special.
Well, you know.
But so are you, and so are you, and so are you, and so are you. Martina, at 18, you defected from communist Czechoslovakia to come to America to become the world's greatest tennis player. And in doing so, you had to make the hard decision to leave your family. How did you even cope with that at that time?
Well, I think when you're 18, I was almost 19, you just figure things are going to work out. I think if I had been like in Soviet Union, where, you know, they would send the whole family to the gulag, I wouldn't have done it because I would have been too terrified what would happen to my family. But I knew Czech Republic or Czechoslovakia, and then was different. And my parents did suffer. My sister then couldn't get into the school she wanted to go to. She's 6 years younger. But overall, they were going to be okay, and I was able to send them money and help them out that way. But it was a one-way ticket. I could not go back, and my parents couldn't get out. My sister couldn't get out. So it was 4 years before I saw my mom again when she came to Wimbledon, and 5 years before I saw my sister and my dad. So that was pretty rough, because if I went back, they would never let me out again. So that was not a possibility.
Right. To be
but
that.
you know, when you're 19, it's like, it's gonna be okay.
But she knew, and
it was, but if I had to do it now, there's no way I could.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
I want to talk about the role that the media played, because you touched on this a little bit. They really played up the rivalry between the two of you and played up the drama. Of course, because of that and because of how talented the two of you were, what great players you were, it put a lot of eyeballs on women's tennis and made it what it is today. But that couldn't have been easy to deal with that kind of scrutiny from the media. What was that like at the time?
It was tough because, I mean, it's tough enough to play each other. We're like gladiators out there. It's an individual sport. So you're going for each other's throats, you know.
But thankfully, there's a net in between. So
Thank God.
Yeah, this is true. But, I mean, the journalists were trying to pit Martina against me, and they were goading us really to try to say something negative about the other one, because they wanted that controversy, they wanted that drama, they wanted that headline. You know, and we figured it out, and we had a meeting. Martina and I had a meeting and said, let's talk about this. You know, I didn't say that, what was today, you know, what was in the papers today. And I didn't say it that way, and I didn't say it, and they're trying to do this. So we had a talk with them. I mean, we'd go in the press conference and say, you know, don't try to put words in our mouth, okay? Martina and I are rivals, but we're friendly, and so zip it.
But we figured it out. We had no media training or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's, we just want you to be honest. Then you tell them the truth, and they're like, oh my God, that didn't work out so well. So anyway, so we had to figure it out ourselves.
And it was so great. That was so
it was not
smart
easy.
for the two of you to get together and check in with one another, because that's what it's.
But they tried so much to pit us against each other.
Yeah.
And there was enough competition already. It didn't need to be anything bigger, but they would never do that with the guys. So again, it was kind of a sexist twinge to it.
Isn't that interesting? They would never do that.
Yeah, they would never do that.
Go figure. I don't know.
So fascinating. I think that's maybe the only time that's ever happened in history.
Ever.
It's so rare to have a friend in your life who's gone through something so similar to you, both professionally, and both of you have battled cancer. And I'm happy to say that you've both beat cancer. Thank God. But to be in one another's life and to be able to lean on each other during those times in your life must feel pretty special, pretty cathartic.
We can't get out of each other's way. I mean, it's like we're together for 15 years in a rivalry, and then we both retire, and then we both get cancer at the same time, you know. And it's, you know, you say we've recovered. You know, mine reoccurred. Mine came back a second time, 2 years ago. So I Martina's, I think, pretty much in the clear, but I've got to get CAT scans every 3 months, and I don't take anything for granted. You know, I try to live life to the fullest, but to have Martina always there for me, you know, I would call her up if I was really emotional, and we'd be talking about it, and you know, she was in the trenches with me, and she was comforting me at very important times.
We were always there for each other, yeah. It was pretty cool.
Brought us closer.
Before I let you go, I have this incredibly annoying coworker who's just like, he won't shut up about tennis. He's obsessed with tennis.
Yeah.
And I promised him that I would let him come out and ask you a question. If you don't mind, would it be okay if I brought him
If
out?
it's Michael, yeah, we do mind.
Okay.
But
Well, thank you for your time.
No. Go for it.
Okay. It's okay if I bring. All right.
What's the question?
Costa, you can come out.
Come on, Costa.
Yeah.
Oh.
Costa.
Hey, everybody. Thank you, Desi, for letting me come out. Hi, Chris, Michael,
Good to see you.
Martina.
Hello, Michael.
By all means, pull up a chair.
Thank you for letting me crash the interview. You too. I mean, when do I get to talk to a Grand Slam champion and 2 Grand Slam champions? This is a dream for me. The film, you're both so vulnerable in it. It's so powerful.
Thank you.
That's going to help a lot of people. Thank you for being so open in the film. Thank you for letting me talk about it. This is like the amount of times I had breakfast with my family watching them play tennis, and now they're sitting next to me and I can ask them whatever I want. It's pretty sweet.
Wait a minute, how old are you?
We don't have to talk about how my age. Both of you talk a lot about being alone when you are at the top. Tennis is a very solitary sport. Martina, you won your first pro event. You didn't even have anybody to hug. You hugged a pole.
It was a light pole.
A light pole. Chris,
Don't go to the light.
Chris, you won Wimbledon and talk about going straight back to the hotel, laying on the floor and all alone.
Could get up.
Couldn't get up. And you said you talked about being depressed. I wonder how much that solitude shaped your life post-tennis, if it did at all, or when battling cancer.
You know, you should be a reporter. That's a great question.
Well,
no, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. This is a great
Desi
question.
has to ask 10 questions. I just get to ask
just
one,
get the one.
so you know what I mean?
Or write a book.
Oh, wait.
right.
He did that already.
Do they know that you wrote a book about tennis?
Usually about 0.001% of
Okay,
people
you
know.
gotta read it. Good. Okay, so
Yeah.
but we'll be serious now.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go?
You go for it.
Yeah. I mean, what I learned is you pay a price for everything. I mean, everyone thinks it's such a glamorous life, and you're making money, and you're traveling, and all this, but you have to sacrifice. You have to give up things, and I think I gave up friendships and relationships in the beginning. I felt like I was married to my tennis because I had to put everything emotionally, mentally, and physically into my game. Martina had the edge physically. She was the most phenomenal athlete, as you could see. She was athletic, a lot more athletic than I was, but so I had to use my head. And I realized in '76 when I came home back to my hotel room, I couldn't get off the floor because I felt so depressed, and I felt like that was a defining moment in my life. I've got to go back and really start to get some friends and work on friendships because I was working too hard on tennis and nothing else. That's my story.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that.
Now,
No, but Martina has the pole story.
I don't know what to say.
Hugging the pole.
Oh, well.
Come on, why'd you hug the pole?
Did the solitude of tennis shape you post-tennis?
I think what shaped me was growing up in a communist country. You just get on with it. You don't have that many options. And so you just deal with whatever's in front of you. And now I come to America, and it was like Alice in Wonderland. You know, I'm free. I can speak. I don't have to worry about anything. And so that made me feel not alone because you didn't have to worry about everything. But then the hugging pole thing was, this is in 1974. I was still playing for the Czech Federation. I had the $17 per diem. I won $10,000, but I had to give it back to the Federation. But I didn't care about that because I won the tournament, but I was alone. This is in October. And I wanted to hug somebody, and I didn't know anybody. I wasn't going to hug a stranger. So I hugged the light pole that was next to the umpire's chair.
Can you find a tree somewhere?
There were no trees. I would have preferred hugging a tree, but yeah. Anyway, so
you know what? We'll give you a hug. We'll
Come
give
on.
you a hug.
Give Martina a hug. Okay.
No more hugging poles. You deserve to be
I
hugged.
want to hug Martina.
thank you.
That's the hug you should have. You deserved after winning.
I'm giving you enough hugs.
No hug from Chris.
We are so inspired by the two of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your story. You're inspiring us in all things success and friendship. In fact, Kosta, would you like to be my friend?
Yes. I would love to be your friend.
Chris and Martina, the final set debuts on Netflix June 26th. Chris Evert and Martina Navratilova.